Previously on Flowers for Zoe, Stories for Dennis.
As a parent, I'm bigger and wiser and kind, and my job is to keep you alive, keep you safe, nurture and love you, and teach you.
And now coming up on the show, as soon as the kids leave, Zoe drops like 10 levels.
I know you don't like meditative stuff.
Oh, I can't stand meditation.
Let me walk you through a little exercise.
Today's podcast is a Zoe's Recovery Diary episode. Today, Zoe is 10 months sober from a street fentanyl addiction and 10 months into her 5-year plan. If you find anything on today's show activating, please reach out and talk to somebody. If you find our discussion helpful, share the link with others. Welcome to podcast number 17.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Today we're talking to Zoe about her recovery. I check in to see how she's doing, and we're going to talk about stuff. The last time we had a Zoe's Recovery Diary episode, we had this great podcast about parenting. So the first thing I think of is, how's it going, Zoe, with the kids?
I don't even know where to start.
The kids are not here right now. They've been gone at their dad's for a day and a half. This is his weekend.
Yeah.
And I noticed right away, as soon as the kids leave, Zoe drops like 10 levels. And she just normalizes out. She comes out, hi, Mom. Hi, Uncle Daniel. And it's so different. And it just, parenting is so stressful. That's what it makes me realize.
I needed this weekend. As much as I was very uncomfortable sleeping, like 2 nights, shitty sleep. Like I didn't get a good sleep. And I think it has to do with the kid not being in bed with me. And I just feel anxious throughout my days. Like, oh my God, I know that there's stuff I need to do, but I have nothing to do. So it's just the feeling of having things to do, but knowing that the kids aren't here. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to take care of anything in a sense. But I know that I did need it because I was overwhelmed, especially with my 12-year-old. She gets me on a level that nobody else can get me on.
She's feisty. She
Yeah.
talks back. She always has the last word, doesn't she?
Yeah.
It sounds like when the kids aren't there, there's a uncomfortable feeling. Is
Yeah.
that how you would describe it?
Yeah, like last
So-
night I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt this anxious feeling, like almost like a bad feeling of something bad happening, but nothing was happening. Like it was just me in my own thoughts. So I guess when I actually took that time to just sit there and not constantly be on the go with something going on, something to do, I just was in my own thoughts, and that to me is scary. I don't like being in my own thoughts. So it just gave
Okay.
me this automatic bad feeling. I didn't like it. It was a very anxious stomach in a knot feeling last night.
Okay. So you notice it in your thoughts and you notice it in your stomach.
Yeah.
What else do you notice, like when you just think about what's going on with your body?
My sleep. I couldn't sleep last night or the night before.
Okay. So it's hard to relax.
Yeah. And that this should be the time where I get to relax, where I'm not constantly on my toes. Like I should be able to sit back and watch a show and not think of anything while the kids are at their dad's house. I have not a worry in the world, but that's when I do all my worrying. That's when I'm
Yeah.
stressed out about shit. Like I don't know. It's kind of opposite than the way it should be.
The busyness of our life can be a distraction that's helpful. Busyness can keep us distracted, keep us focused on other things. And so in some ways, when you describe, when things get quiet, that's when the thoughts surface. That's when you start to actually tune into and notice your body and notice that you're feeling uncomfortable.
That's something I know that I need to deal with, because I do need to take a step back and be able to be within my own thoughts and be comfortable with that. But I'm not. I'm not comfortable being in my own head. I don't like having time on my hands to think about shit. I don't like that feeling, but I need to try and work it out to where I'm not looking at being in my own head as something negative. I want to try and fill it with positive things, right? Instead of looking at it like it's negative all the time. Like, I don't want to be in my own head. I'm scared to be in my own head. I don't know what's my mind is capable of, when I have nothing but my own thoughts to sit with, right? I need to kind of fill it with positivity rather than looking at it so negatively. I just don't know how to do that.
I hear you talking about positivity or negativity, and it feels negative and I want to make it positive but it feels negative and it's hard and it's scary and I want to make it positive. Sometimes if we work just with those polar opposites, it can feel pretty black and white. What would it look like to take the pressure off having to be positive? It might then just be, oh, I'm not used to sitting quiet with myself. And this is what I hear you doing, because you're saying, like, I want to get comfortable with my body. And so maybe it's not about making it positive. Maybe it's just about, what am I noticing? What am I feeling? Got this knot in my stomach and my thoughts start to race and I'm all, ramped up and I can't go to sleep. And so maybe it's not about making it positive. Maybe it's about just being like, oh, I'm going to just sit with this for a minute. It's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Our body talks to us. It tells us, it gives us little cues of what's going on. And so you might say that you're taking these initial steps in kind of connecting with your body in a different way.
Yeah.
Connecting to your body and allowing it to sort of talk to you. And so what you're feeling, that knot in your stomach or that uneasy feeling, like, what do you think it's connected to? What's it about?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like, it used to be a lot worse after dad passed away, and like when I got out of detox and stuff like that. But it still happens, like when everybody in the house is asleep. It's almost like I don't get a good rest. But the moment everybody is up and I know that people are walking around and they're there, I get the best nap when I know people are awake. But it's almost like I'm scared to sleep while everybody else is sleeping. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but it was really bad before when I first got out of detox, where I would wake up in a panic, like I was scared to fall asleep and not wake up. I had that fear for like so long once I got sober. And it's still, I still carry it with me, but not as bad. I don't know, it's just weird. There's little things that have stuck with me that aren't quite as bad, like I said, but they're still there.
This is where distractions can invite a sense of calm, background noise, sleeping with the TV on.
Yeah. The moment my TV goes on sleep mode, I wake up and I have to turn it back on. Like, it wakes me up to hear nothing.
Your body tends to live in a more of a hyper aroused state. If you looked at this in stages, you might say that your baseline of where you feel sort of calm is kind of in an elevated state. When you're elevated, when things are elevated, you actually feel calm.
Yeah.
And so when things start to get quiet, that's when you start to notice your body and notice your thoughts. That's where
It
you
like
feel
peaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It peaks, and I just am very uneasy.
When I hear that, the first thing I think of is, oh my God, I wish you would meditate.
Oh, I can't stand meditation.
There's a lot of misunderstanding around meditation. Sometimes we think that meditation means that you're going to sit quietly and you're going to like practice removing all the thoughts and you're going to get to this state where you're not thinking about things or you're not noticing things. And that's actually not what it is. When you describe sitting quiet for a minute and noticing the uncomfortable in your body, you're actually meditating. What you're doing is you're getting as quiet as you can get and you're noticing, oh, uncomfortable thought, oh, uncomfortable feeling. And as you do that, you're actually going into a meditative state of getting quiet and getting connected. And each time you notice, oh, I feel a little bit sick, it's an opportunity to sort of notice it and maybe let it go, right? And then you might notice where your thought goes and then you let it go. If you do that for 30 seconds or even a minute, well, guess what? You've done it. And so sometimes people will practice it for longer.
Yeah.
If you can do that for 5 minutes and you might extend it to 10 minutes. But this idea that, when you see images of people that are sitting quietly meditating, it's not like they're in a serene, peaceful place necessarily.
Yeah.
It might be an opportunity to connect with your body and notice pains, feelings of unease, worrisome thoughts, a little pang in your chest or your leg.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You might notice an achy joint. You might notice a buzzy feeling in your
Yeah.
head, right? So,
Kind of just center yourself.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So you're already doing it. And sitting with uncomfortableness is kind of part of it.
Hmm.
Another thing I do is I remind myself that everything's going to be okay. Yes, I have 15 things on my to-do list that are detrimental I get done, but until they get done, everything's going to be okay. The rent is paid, the bills are paid, there's food, we have a home.
Yeah,
Everything's going to be okay.
it is all very true.
But it doesn't work for you.
No.
So what do you
Well, I
think?
can't say it doesn't work for me. I know, I have a lot of things to be thankful for, right? It's my life is way better than where it was. I do have a lot to be thankful for. I do have a lot to be happy about, right? And like I said numerous times, even on my worst days now, my worst days are better than all the shit that I went through and I got through. So I have a shit ton of things to be happy about and to
What
be
are
thankful for.
what are the top 5 things that you're thankful for? Pretend this is New Year's Eve, and what are the
uh,
5 things that you're most thankful for?
my health, my sobriety, my family, my children, especially my children. And that I can honestly say that I'm in a good place.
So those 5 things, when things get overwhelming, try reminding yourself of those 5 things. Oh my God, my kids are here, my family's here. I'm
Healthy and sober.
healthy and sober. Things are great.
Things could be really, really bad, and they're not.
So the kids are coming home. They should be home soon.
Yeah.
What's the plan for today with them? You're so different, eh? When they're here. When they're here, you're like 110% going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's almost a distraction for you.
Yeah, but it was the same thing. Everybody when I first got sober and I got out of detox, everybody's like, "Oh my God, Zoe, you need time to yourself. You need to just go back to Uncle Daniel's house and you need to just kind of deal with yourself and get yourself back on track for you." And like I had to literally fight everybody on it like, "No, that's not what I need. Like everybody's telling me what I need, but that's not what I need." What I need is I need to throw myself back into being a mom. I need to be around hyper kids. I need to be around a house that I can clean up after people and do what I got to do. Like, that's what I need. I don't want to be by myself in my own thoughts, sitting there, with nothing to do but worry about me. That's not who I am. That's not what I need. And everybody needs to stop fucking telling me that that's what I need, because I know what I need. My mind is clear now and I know what the fuck I need.
I
And it's not
remember
sitting
that.
there alone.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I
Like,
remember everyone said the same thing. Where's Zoe? How come she's not with you? I'm like, she's going to get her kids back.
yeah.
That's what she's doing. And that's number one.
And that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I needed. I knew what I needed and I did it. I was so
You're living your
frustrated.
truth.
Yeah.
What I'm also hearing is that when the kids, so what you're noticing, Daniel, is that when Zoe has a little bit of time to herself, like you said, she really starts to come down. And when the kids are around, there's a lot of energy around your parenting. There's a lot of energy around all of this.
Very high
So,
strung. Very, very high strung.
so do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Because you've got this, so the kids aren't there right now, and you might be noticing like there's a real change that happens, right?
Mhm.
Um, what changes when the kids step away and go and spend some time with their dad, and now you've kind of got some time for yourself?
I get bored. Like, I don't, like, I know there's things that I need to do regardless. Like, regardless, even when the kids are home, I get certain things done that I need to get done. But I feel like I have nothing to do. I'm not telling anybody anything. I'm not reminding anybody about anything. I'm not bitching about anything. I'm not loving anybody or kissing anybody or hanging out with any, like, I just feel very lonely and nothing to do.
So parenting has a sense of purpose and meaning, and when you're in it, you're loving it,
Yeah.
and you're with your kids and you're involved. So
I need
it
to
sounds
find something for me
oh, okay.
other than being a mom and parental duties. I need to find something that I enjoy doing and that makes me happy besides being a mom. I need something for me. I don't know what that is yet. I don't know how I'm going to get to it, but like, I know once I go to school and stuff, like, that's going to take up a lot of my time, but I don't just want it to be all work. Like, I want to do something that I enjoy doing, and as much as I'm going to enjoy going to school for psychology and I'm going to be really interested in it, like, it's almost like it's all work and no play. I'm a mom and it's all work. I'm going to school, it's all work. If I start working, it's all work. Like, I need something that I enjoy. Like, there's certain people that go out there and they do painting because they love painting. There's other people that draw. There's other people that go to the gym to make them feel good. There's, people go do yoga. There's a time and a place for work and a time and a place to relax. And then there's a time and a place for play, and I don't know what I like right now. I'm so revolved around my children at the moment. I don't know what makes me happy other than being a mom.
Mm.
So I want to find something that's just for me, something that I enjoy doing, something that makes me happy other than being a mom.
You're in a good place. You're in a place of boredom. That's when your mind is going to get creative and you're going to find your thing.
I don't even know what I like right now. Like, what is going to interest me? What's going to pull me in and make me want to do it?
I think it's going to appear to you soon. This is what it takes to discover something new for you. You get bored and your mind starts going, you start coming up with ideas. And one day, one of those ideas is going to stick. You're going to fall in love with something and then you're going to go with it.
Like, some moms I've seen on, like, my social media and stuff, like, some moms around my age, like this one mom, she got into like remodeling shoes. There's this one really cool artist, and she draws the female body, and she made her own small little business out of it. So there's all these different things that people are doing. I want to find mine. I want to know what I can do, something that's going to bring me happiness. And then who knows, maybe turn into a side hustle, a little business, or, something that's not just all work, that there's some type of play involved in it.
I love it.
Yeah, me too. I love everything you said. That's perfect. Right now, you're just waiting for that to happen.
I think there's something really powerful about when we begin with the end in mind. And
7 habits.
That's the 7 habits Stephen Covey talks about. It's a really powerful way, and especially when I hear you talking about all these things that you're striving for, that you want. You're painting a picture, and the picture is, this is where I want to go, and this is what I want my life to look like, and this is what I'm striving for and pushing for.
Yeah.
And, the hard part is, it never really seems to go as fast as we want. And yet, you're describing a really clear picture of where you want your life to go. And so when we begin with the end in mind, it's powerful because you might have that image of where you want to get to. And what you get to do now is turn it into, you remember when we talked about goals?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what this is, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like one foot in front of the other, one step at a time towards building that bigger picture that you're striving for.
Well, let me ask you, Zoe, what does your life look like in 4 years?
I'll have my own place. I'll be either in the middle or close to the end of my psychology degree. I want to be complete, like I want to have the medical esthetician course completed, and I want to be working in a salon. I want to be doing that while going to school for psychology. When it comes to what I want my career to be, and it's definitely within the means of mental health and addiction, and helping people.
So 4 years from now or 5 years from now, the kids are going to be 16 and 17 years old about.
Yeah.
You're going to have an esthetician course behind you. You're going to be working in a salon. You're going to be living in your home. That's what the end looks like for you.
Yeah.
Does that make you happy?
It makes me so happy.
So every time you think about those little steps to get there, start with the end in mind. Every time those little crappy to-do lists come up, don't forget about the end. Spend more time. Spend an hour a day thinking about the end and how nice it's going to be, and fantasizing. Close your eyes and just think about how nice it's going to be. Positive thoughts. It's amazing what negative thoughts do to your body.
Oh, I know.
But it's just as amazing what positive thoughts can do to you too. I remember we used to talk about you making a plan in the shape of a cloud, and you put all these things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You write them on top. Esthetician course.
Brainstorm.
Maybe you should do that now.
Yeah, I have a lot of different I'm in a different position than I was when I first made the first one.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool to kind of look back and see that one, and then see the one now. That'd be pretty amazing.
And I don't know, maybe you could plan to do this in 2 weeks when the kids are with their dad again and you have that free Saturday. Maybe this is what you do.
I like the sound of that.
Let me walk you through a little exercise. I know you don't like meditative stuff. It's not really a meditation.
Okay.
But here's a little strategy you can try when you're having a negative thought. You talk about, having these quiet moments where you feel uneasy and you have a negative thought. Well, this is kind of like practicing meditation. It's really short and quick.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be too long. So let's imagine you're It's quiet and you're just noticing your thoughts and you don't like where they're going and they seem kind of negative. You start with breathing. So you take 5 slow, big breaths. So you breathe in through your nose, as much air into your lungs as you can hold, and you try to increase just a little bit more, and you hold the breath. And then you blow it out a little slower than you took it in, and you breathe it all the way out. That's 1. So you take another deep breath, and you hold it, and then you breathe it out a little slower than you took it in. And you do that one more time. Take a big deep breath. Fill your lungs as much as you can. Hold it. And then slowly breathe it out your mouth. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to feel the feelings. You're going to just notice what that thought is. And kind of like what we were talking about with Uncle Daniel, this is a moment where you get to reframe it. You get to think about, what do I think about that thought? Do I like it? You might just let it float by, but you might reframe it or you might challenge it. Do I really think this thought? Do I like this thought? Do I want to hang on to this thought? And then the next thing you do is you just turn to kindness. Doing the best I can. I'm dealing with, when these negative thoughts pop up, it's challenging. It makes me feel sick to my stomach. And I'm doing great. I'm working on my goals, and I'm just going to let these thoughts sort of pass by. And then shift to gratitude. We've talked about gratitude today, and gratitude shifts us. It means that we get to remind ourselves of what's going well in our life right now, what we feel thankful about in this moment today. And you shift back into your life and you open your eyes and you're like, okay, that was 2 minutes of mindfulness.
Wow. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm going to practice that. I'm going to use that.